that when I get old, do I want to be an old blacksmith or an old guy who works on boats? And I just decided, man, I'd rather be a blacksmith. It's been a great life, and I have no intention of stopping doing blacksmithing. For some reason, it really took me, and I just love it. And it's been 43 years, and I still love it. There's just something about it that I can't really articulate that it just seems like the rest of the world goes away. And it's me, a hot piece of steel, an anvil, and a hammer. And it's such a peaceful place. That's where I want to spend the rest of my life. My name is Richard Connolly, and I'm speaking to you from my blacksmith shop in Patagonia, Arizona. And I started blacksmithing here in Patagonia about 1975, so it'd be about 43 years ago. I started at Southwest Wagon and Wheel Works as a carriage smith and continued that for many years with Doug Thamert, working with Lee Gordon, who was the wheelwright. And after a couple years at the wagon shop, I attended Turley Forge in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And at the same time as I was doing that, I was involved with an older gentleman living here in Patagonia who'd been a blacksmith in New York in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. And he took me as his student and taught me his idea of design for different pieces of ironwork. And I would go over to his house at night and he'd show me. So we'd design it together, go to the wagon shop, and he'd stand there while I built these pieces and then sold them. And the further I got into it, the more I realized what could be accomplished with simple tools. The shop I'm in right now is a place I've been located for 22 years doing blacksmithing here. And at this time, the shop that I'm in right now has sold. So the reason I'm making this video and doing the GoFundMe site is to help me build a new shop. And what I would like to do is set up a shop a little bit bigger than this with 4 or 5 forges in it. I'd like to teach blacksmithing. The reason I want to teach this is several. And one is that I've seen an increased interest over it in the last 5 or 6 years of people really wanting to learn this. And I think it's very important that this skill stays out there, and even bits and pieces of it. Because what I can do in here as far as making things, not only art, but tools and functional pieces of iron for buildings or for any kind of project. But it's also to repair things that are broken or bent. I've heard it said many times over the years that the blacksmithing is the king of trades, because the other trades all use metal tools to do their work, and they get them from the blacksmith shop. And I have made hundreds of tools over the years, mostly from steel I found in scrap yards. And I really think that it's important for young people to know how to fix and repair things rather than just buying something cheap and throwing it out. There's tools in here that are 150 years old that function like they did when they were brand new. And a lot of life is like that. If you take care of it, it'll last for a long time. And the new shop that I'm hoping to build will be about 40 foot square, and that'll give me enough room for my forge pretty much in the center of the shop, and 4 forges for students in each of the corners. That's what I'm hoping to gain from this, is enough money to get this project started to the point where I can start teaching. And so that's really why I'm here, is to get you all out there to help me however you can to get this shop going. And I think it's something that people will enjoy, and I'd really like to see this craft keep going and continue into the future. This is still, after all this time, when I open the door in the morning, this is still my favorite place in the world.